You're a little badass, aren't you? Aren't you? Please don't tell my mom. What is up, my dudes? It's your boy Sid. Welcome back to another video on this wonderful website called youtube.com. Glad to have you here, and without further ado, let's get into it. So if you've been following me for a while, you know what I usually do. This is completely different. Sort of. But I've been reading One Piece for like the last about 2-3 months-ish, and I've been jotting down some thoughts because I really do want to I just want to talk about One Piece, really. Holy it's so good. I'm in love with One Piece so much right now that I've been collecting their Funko Pops. I got this beautiful Shanks figurine, and I got one of D.Roger, the GOAT, on the way. I'll just take a minute to go over, like, I guess my personal history with the show. I had seen the anime back when I was a kid, seen the 4Kids dub, of course, the glorious theme music. Yo! So I saw the anime up to like Thriller Bark at a point, and then I kind of got bored with it because I don't know, the anime's pacing is terrible. And then I stopped it for a few years, and then I picked it back up from Thriller Bark, and I got to about Dressrosa before I stopped. And so I don't know too much about anything that happens like after Dressrosa. Like, I know a few things here and there, but not really. So I've been reading it on the Shonen Jump app for like the last few months. Currently I am almost not really caught up, but for those of you who don't want spoilers, here's a spoiler review. It's fucking awesome. Go read it, go watch it, whatever you want to do. It's amazing in both mediums, in my opinion, but the manga is the superior one. Considering that there's like more than 1,000 chapters, you would think that with the fact that I've already seen most of the anime, that I wouldn't really be surprised. It really does surprise you, and I am really impressed by like Oda's storytelling prowess. I can English. Alright, so let's start off with Romance Dawn. So you got the premise of the story, which covers D.Roger, who, no, you're not supposed to know that yet, but D.Roger, who is the Pirate King. He attained wealth, fame, fortune. So he was executed, and he said, yo, my treasure is in that place, or something like that. I don't know the exact quotation, I'll put it up here. Those words, like, dude, everyone is like, I'm gonna go get that pirate treasure, and I'm gonna be the Pirate King. And thus we have One Piece. Then we immediately switch to like 11 years later, and then we get Luffy, who bloody stabs his eye, which is like just like under his eye, whatever this area is called. And it's like, yo, fam, what? Like, that's a wild introduction to our protagonist, who is the always lovable monkey D.Luffy. And you're also introduced to this mad lad, Shanks, who essentially becomes Luffy's inspiration to becoming a pirate. Shanks, high five. Oh wait, you only have one arm, right? Wait, you can still high five with one arm? There was a series of events that took place in Windmill Village, Luffy's hometown, I believe, where it ended up with Shanks sacrificing his arm for Luffy. And I know that me saying it like that has no impact whatsoever, but when you read it, it does have a much better impact. Although I'm still a bit iffy on it, knowing what happens later on. Like, Shanks, did you really need to sacrifice your arm for that? I don't know. Maybe he wasn't that strong at that point. Okay, I'm not gonna get into it. So after the tragic sacrifice, we have Shanks, who decides to village for good this time. Obviously, Luffy's emotional, but he claimed that he'd become the next Pirate King. And when Shanks was like, yo, he gave him his hat, and he was like, yo, fam, do it. He didn't say that exactly, but it was a lot more emotional than I'm making it out to be, alright? Yeah, so Shanks gave one of his most treasured possessions, which was the straw hat, and he made Luffy promise to give it back to him when he became a good pirate who surpassed Shanks. And I love that. It's like, because Shanks is, we don't know it at that point, but Shanks is already one of the heavy hitters in the world, and it's kind of mad that in retrospect we didn't know that. A bit of a sweet passing of the torch moment, and it kind of gives us a good idea on what kind of character Luffy is, his inspiration, who he looks up to, what his goals are, his aspirations, you know the whole dealio. The one thing that stands out to me about Luffy as a character is his sheer will. Like, it's kind of crazy as the series gets more and more wild, you know. But yeah, that's chapter 1. That's a whole chapter. Congrats, we're down by one chapter. Only like 1,020 something to go. Oda, you mad genius. Alright, so after that you fast forward like 10 years to a more grown-up Luffy, and he one-shots like the same beast that took Shanks' arm. Again, this is why I have problems with it, but it's kind of nice to see. You get to see that progression, how things go, how Luffy has grown. But yeah, see, he gets caught in a whirlpool, and somehow he ends up in this lady named Alvida's place. She's a pirate captain, and I absolutely hate her, at least at first. She's despicable, she's annoying, and I just don't like her. But we also run into Kobe, who Luffy just straight up says, I don't like you. That's one of the character moments where I'm like, yo, fam. Respect. Respect +1 or 10, whatever. Luffy and Kobe end up escaping because Kobe gets inspired by Luffy. Now that's one thing. Kobe, he starts off as like a fucking wimp, right? He's a... oh, dude. And then like, yeah, so him and Luffy kind of escape Alvida's clutches or whatever, and they end up in Shell's Town where they try to help Zoro escape. And he's a bounty hunter, so now we know that there are bounty hunters who hunt pirates for their bounty. Okay, so Zoro is held captive in like the middle of this ground, and Luffy's like, yo fam, join my crew. Again, he doesn't say that exactly, but I am paraphrasing, and I had the liberty to do so. Zoro's like, hell nah dude, I'm too cool for that. But one thing I really do appreciate about this section of the story is Zoro's introduction, I guess. So, like, there's that girl who comes up, gives him like rice balls, and then he can't eat it. He kind of tells her to go away. And then Shell's Town run by Captain Morgan, and his son comes in and is like, he's a fucking pompous ass bitch, right? You just dislike this guy immediately. I mean, everything from his like character design to his personality is just completely unlikable. Same with Alvida. Like, I feel like Oda does this thing where he makes the character designs so perfect in reflecting their personality. Like Luffy, a silly casual boy, and he walks around in flip-flops and a singlet and some shorts. Like, but if you look at someone like Kobe, he's a freaking minor details, but it's very it's not even minor, it's actually a pretty good like pretty major, because it's like the whole character, right? That was a tangent, but Helmeppo, Captain Morgan's son, steps on the, like, throws those rice balls on the ground, on the dirt, and just fucking stomps all over them, bro. And it's like, dude, you just hate this guy at this point. Like, you really don't like him. And then they throw the girl over the fence, but Luffy catches her, luckily. And then Luffy comes back, and as he, after Helmeppo leaves, and Zoro's like, yo, I'm gonna eat those. Dude, holy shit. Like, when I read that, I was just like, oh crap, I don't remember this. But how could I have forgotten this? Because, like, it shows so much about Zoro as a character. Like on the outside, he's like this badass sword-swinging weapon, but like in the end, you find out that he was actually arrested because he was helping this girl. He saved the girl from Helmeppo's dog. So it's like, are you really a bad person? And I think Luffy sees this. Like, he sees this one thing is what made Luffy go like, yep, you're on my crew. I want you on my crew now. And then anarchy, mayhem. Luffy just causes a storm anywhere he goes, and he broke into like the naval headquarters over there to take Zoro's swords. Fucking 3 of them, dude. Like, holy shit. Someone who's reading that for the first time is gonna be like, yo, how does this man carry 3 swords? Like, 2 in his hand, like 1 in each hand, and then he's got like 1 in his mouth. It's like, how does that work? But it's pretty badass, I'll be honest. They end up beating the shit out of like the captain of the naval base. But yeah, so with these first few chapters, I feel like there's a lot of small things that come into play later on, like Kobe, Helmeppo, obviously Zoro. That's like one of my favorite parts. I think in the manga, I can't remember exactly now, but I think in the manga it shows Zoro's flashback within one of these chapters, but in the anime they show that later on. Don't quote me on this. I don't remember. Anyway, Zoro's flashback is pretty sad. A bit confusing to me personally, but it gives his character a good motivation in doing what he's doing, you know? So like, what can I say? It's great. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if you guys want to see more One Piece reviews like this in the comments down below. I do plan to review the next few arcs. But yeah, catch you in the next one. Peace.